Steven Seagal was never just another action star, he became a Hollywood phenomenon. A man with a ponytail and a death stare who could snap bones on screen with effortless ease while delivering lines of wisdom that made him seem more like a martial arts monk than a typical action hero. In the 1980s and 1990s, when the world was obsessed with muscle-bound fighters and explosive gun battles, Seagal rose to fame with something different. His art wasn't karate kicks or flashy roundhouse moves, it was Aikido, a discipline built on using your opponent's energy against them. And it gave his films a unique style, where he never looked desperate or in danger. Instead, he dismantled enemies with calm, control, and power. To fans, this made him more than an actor. He was a sensei, a man of mystery, wisdom, and unstoppable strength. But peel back the polished image, and a very different Steven Seagal comes into view. A man drowning in accusations, strange behavior, and controversies that followed him for decades. Insiders and even his own family accused him of lying about his past. He claimed to have trained under Morihei Ueshiba, the founder of Aikido, but martial arts experts said his story was nonsense. He told tales of being a Brooklyn street fighter, yet his mother insisted he was a frail, asthmatic boy who grew up in California. His habit of blurring fact and fiction wasn't just a mistake, it became a way of life. He bent reality to make himself seem larger than life, and eventually his credibility was torn apart in court. During a 2003 mob trial, the defense painted him as such a notorious liar that his word couldn't be trusted. Filmmakers, journalists, and martial artists alike described him as delusional, and even his own mother refused to believe the myths he built around himself. But Seagal's reputation didn't just suffer from tall tales. His temper and ego created chaos everywhere he went in 1991. A GQ article painted him as arrogant and difficult. Instead of brushing it off, Seagal lashed out on national television, mocking the journalist with crude insults. And according to reports, he even went further behind the scenes, allegedly asking a security consultant to help blackmail or even arrange a hit against his critics. These shocking claims turned the Hollywood mystic into something darker, no longer a calm martial artist, but a man who let grudges spiral into dangerous territory, and those who worked with him often felt the full weight of his temper. His marriages told a story just as messy. His first marriage to Mako Fujitani, a Japanese Aikido instructor, seemed like a perfect match. But rumors suggested it was more about avoiding the Vietnam draft than love. While still married to her, he secretly married another woman, Adriana La Russa, creating a scandal of bigamy before his Hollywood career had even begun. Then came actress Kelly LeBrock, the glamorous star of The Woman in Red, who became his third wife and mother of his 3 children. But their relationship was filled with turmoil and ended in divorce. LeBrock later described her years with him as a nightmare, painting a picture of control, betrayal, and heartbreak. His final marriage to Mongolian dancer Erdenatuya Batsuk has lasted, but the trail of broken promises, affairs, and failed marriages left behind a personal life as chaotic as his public image. And then there were the friendships that shocked the world. While most Hollywood stars aligned with causes of peace or charity, Seagal aligned himself with controversial leaders. His friendship with Vladimir Putin made global headlines. He praised Putin as one of the greatest living leaders, defended Russia's occupation of Crimea, and even accepted Russian citizenship. Putin rewarded him with medals and political positions, transforming Seagal into an international envoy. Critics saw him as a pawn, a fading action star propping up authoritarian leaders. And his photo ops with the likes of Rodrigo Duterte only fueled the outrage. To many, he looked less like a martial arts hero and more like a man chasing power and relevance in the most controversial places. But even outside of politics and personal scandals, his Hollywood career itself was marred with disasters. His infamous hosting of Saturday Night Live remains one of the most talked about failures in the show's history. Writers called him the worst host ever. Cast members said he refused to play along, and even pitched disturbing sketches that crossed every boundary of comedy. The humiliation was so great that Lorne Michaels himself mocked Seagal on air during another season, cementing his place not as a comedy legend but as the show's biggest embarrassment. And to make matters worse, Seagal didn't take the jokes well. His thin skin made him lash out, proving once again that the man who pretended to be unshakable on screen couldn't handle criticism in real life. And then came the darkest cloud over his legacy. Multiple women have accused him of sexual misconduct and harassment. From casting couches to set encounters, actresses and assistants spoke about unwanted advances, disturbing situations, and outright assaults. Jenny McCarthy recalled being asked to strip naked during an audition. Others told of him showing up uninvited in their trailers, making crude comments, or using his power to intimidate. While no charges have ever stuck, the accusations piled up for decades, resurfacing during the Me Too movement and painting a haunting picture of abuse. His treatment of female reporters only made it worse, dismissing them with crude insults and admitting he couldn't stand being interviewed by women. His arrogance and disrespect bled into every corner of his career, and for many, it completely shattered the image of the wise martial arts master he once portrayed. Even his co-stars and stunt performers weren't safe. John Leguizamo recalled being physically assaulted on the set of Executive Decision just for laughing at one of Seagal's egotistical remarks, and stuntmen claimed he often struck them for real during choreographed fights, breaking the unspoken rule of respecting those who risk their lives to make action scenes look real. Martial artists like Michael Jai White confirmed that stunt teams lived in fear of him. While legends like Gene LeBell reportedly had run-ins that turned violent, his need to prove himself untouchable often came at the expense of those around him, creating toxic environments where fear, not respect, kept people silent. And if all that wasn't enough, his feud with Jean-Claude Van Damme became one of Hollywood's most infamous rivalries. Seagal mocked Van Damme's fighting credentials. Van Damme fired back, and at one point even challenged him to fight at a party. But Seagal fled, dodging the confrontation, leaving even Sylvester Stallone to joke that Seagal had pulled a Houdini. In the end, Van Damme's career outshone Seagal's by miles. His movies earned hundreds of millions more. His influence inspired generations of fighters. And while Seagal drifted into straight-to-video films and controversial politics, Van Damme stayed respected as both an actor and a martial artist. The feud stood as proof that ego couldn't mask reality. Seagal was not the king of martial arts Hollywood wanted him to be. Steven Seagal built an image of discipline, control, and spiritual wisdom. But behind that image was a man consumed by lies, scandals, anger, failed marriages, political controversies, sexual assault accusations, and bitter rivalries. His story is one of the most shocking falls from grace in Hollywood history, a reminder that the legends we see on screen often live very different lives when the cameras stop rolling. So now we turn to you. What do you think is the strangest and most shocking part of Steven Seagal's story? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed uncovering this side of Hollywood, make sure you hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin. Press the bell icon so you never miss the untold truths and hidden scandals of the stars you thought you knew.